The biggest thing with making these videos is a sense of direction. I don't know kind of how I want to take my channel, just like talking about things, because there's so many like different places this can go. I've always thought about taking more of like a psychological side of things in my talks, but in truth, I really don't fully understand even the concepts that I'm talking about. I'm more like exploring while I'm living. One of the things I wanted to touch on was the passage of time. I'm 20 now, and I can't help but feel like I'm running out of time. Everybody I talk to, they tell me, "Oh, you're young, you've got, a lot of time. You're gonna look back at this moment and you're gonna, laugh." But time has passed by so fast. It's so quick. Like, it still feels like I'm 17, even though I'm not. And 2016 feels like yesterday, even though it was 10 fucking years ago, which is crazy to me still. And sometimes it feels like time is escaping me. I'm really big into hiking and taking pictures. And one of the things about my photography is on my Instagram, it says immortalizing memories in digital amber, almost like keeping that point in time forever. I don't want to forget about it. Sometimes when I'm hiking, I'll sit there and I'll, keep thinking about like when I leave this place, it's only going to be a memory and I'll have to think back on it and life is just going to keep going. And that makes sense. Of course, that's how it's always been. But it feels like I'm losing out on time. No one says your time is over when it is. You have no idea when things are going to end. So there's this like utmost pressure to do as much as I possibly can in such a short amount of time because I don't know when my time is up. It makes these moments more cherishable just because when I can go out and do the things I enjoy, it sometimes can be few and far between. So I respect the time more for what I can spend. But it also makes me scared that if I spend the entire time working, that I'm just gonna regret it. And I feel like a lot of the time I'm chasing success and I'm like working my ass off when um it's like ultimately not fulfilling. And that's in a lot of aspects of my life. It's not just like, work or things like that. And work is necessary in order to do things I enjoy. But even still, that feels like what the hell am I doing? I could be out living, and it's a fun dynamic to try to balance. I want to travel. I think everybody wants to travel. It's the way to do it. I've always wanted to get one of those like Mercedes transit vans and like revamp it, make it like kind of like a living camper and just take it on the road, go to as many places as I can, and then put it on a boat and take it to Europe. The issue is the money making part of that. It's the cool that's that you want to do, but how are you going to live on top of that? And that's well, you really got to make your money first before you can do things like that. So dedicate this time for something in the future. And we keep living in the future, all the things I'm doing for the future. And I find that it's hard to live in the now, and I have to take a step back and realize that it's okay to take a break. It's okay to enjoy the moment right here. I don't always need to be working all the time. That's hard because I want to be successful, and the only way to get there is to work your ass off. And it's a it's a hard balance I found, and I'm sure most people know, especially people older than I am, and how unpredictable life can be. I have like this idea on how I want life to go, but ultimately, I've learned that life is gonna take my idea and stretch it every which way, and I'm ultimately gonna end up in a place that I don't expect. Well, if that place is cool, that's I'm sure it will be, and I keep worrying about where that place is gonna be, but I need to keep living now. And so, what does that look like? That's the biggest thing. How do I capitalize on what I'm doing currently, especially in my life? I'm in this kind of semi workman's comp, I call it semi retired, even though it's not, state where I have more time to do the things that I want to do. My body doesn't necessarily agree with me with the things that I want to do, but now that I have this influx of time, it feels like I have a responsibility almost to do something with it. And so like sitting in front of a camera is like a part of it for me, almost like a way to vent kind of how I'm feeling, uh, learn new ideas. Maybe I'll find something through my research for these videos. I was going to talk about the cost of being emotionally precise, but I just wasn't happy with the framework that I had made for the video. I had found that even still, I was struggling with things in the subject matter that I was trying to talk about, and it felt almost disingenuous to myself to try to talk about something that even I don't 100% understand or follow. Uh, Almost hypocritical. And like I can talk about the concept of being emotionally precise, and I can talk about my experiences in it, but I'm still trying to figure it out. There's still things that I'm not ready to hide, or I'm not ready to talk about, and I still hide from. And I guess like the point of that video was I was trying to talk about how sensitive everything feels, how I feel very emotional in the world. Like things seem to affect me on a deeper level that don't affect other people. And it's a cool thing to look at, zooming out of like this is how my brain works. And I found that talking to other people, I found a big interest in seeing how their brains work and things like that. I'm just trying to figure it out. There's a lot of questions I have that I know will never go answered. I mean, we're all doing this for the first time, just trying to figure it out, and I'm kind of lost sometimes when it comes to like what I want to say, because there's that part of me that thinks about the digital footprint, and if I look back on the things that I make and talk about, and if that's really what I was trying to say. But ultimately, what it comes down to is being genuine. That's the biggest thing. Just be me. I had a problem. I was in the hospital a couple of months ago, and I was in this woe is me state. Kind of nothing matters. What the hell is the point of all of this? And then I eventually came to this realization of if nothing matters, why not try it? And I was talking more of like on a grand scale of things. Like who's a big thing in my childhood was being remembered. I didn't want to be forgotten. I still struggle with that today. Uh, I want people to remember me, and there's nothing in truth that I could do to preserve that. Eventually, I will be forgotten. Eventually, you will be forgotten, and that's not a bad thing. That's just the course of time. That's just what happens. And so there was a comfortability part that, or a thing that I had to get comfortable with, and that was the fact that I was going to be forgotten and that I could do all these great things in my life, but if I wasn't fulfilled with them, if I wasn't doing them for me, then there was no point. I needed to stop trying to do things for other people. I needed to stop trying to appeal to an audience with my artwork. That ultimately, if I was happy and fulfilled with it, that's all it needed to be. So I'm trying to take steps to be better at that, and it's hard. It's not easy. I want to be liked. Everybody likes to be liked. Everybody likes to be seen. It's a big issue that I was talking about in my last video about relationships, especially in my case. So if nothing matters, why not do it? That was what I learned. Is if none of it matters, just try it. If you like it, that's ultimately what matters. If I like sitting in front of the camera, I'm gonna sit in the front of the camera. I'm not gonna do it because other people tell me I should. It's nice that those people tell me that I should, and it gives me more inspiration to do so. But ultimately, if I'm not doing it for me, then what am I doing it for? And I feel like doing a script feels too professional for me. It feels too corporate. And if someone was talking to me on the camera, I would want them to be just as genuine as I would be. And I watch a lot of YouTube, and a lot of it I connect with because it does not feel like they're putting on a performance, doesn't feel like they're trying to placate, and sometimes they are, but the ones that stick around, I mean, some of the biggest names in YouTube, just like Moist Critical, things like that. I mean, the guy sits in front of a camera, talks about whatever he wants, and there really is no like theme. You can take like aspects of the videos and you can draw lines on where things connect, but ultimately that's where the personality lies in. There was a bit where I was like super focused on the production quality, and I got like really mad at myself when I had a lot of filler words or things, tangents that went off to nowhere. Um, but if I like it, that's what matters. And I'm trying to do better with my time, trying to respect what I have now instead of wishing of the future, even though the future can look nice based on what I do now. So now it's, where do we go from here?